So if it's not happening naturally, what is now the first step after you realize, okay, this isn't happening naturally, I've waited the 6 months, I've waited the year, what's the next step?
Well, the first-line treatment is doing something called ovarian stimulation with insemination. So the goal is to make multiple eggs, and for every egg the woman's going to ovulate, optimize the chance that the sperm is going to fertilize the egg. So the woman can take oral medication for 5 days, and then around the time that she's ovulating, we can place the very best sperm directly into the uterus.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and these cycles cost about $1,000, $1,500.
Now, what if insemination fails? Where do you go from there?
If that doesn't work within a couple of cycles, you really need to move on to IVF, which is in vitro fertilization.
Okay.
IVF is much more expensive. It's $15,000, $20,000. It's more time-consuming. It's more involved. There are more side effects.
That's per cycle, right?
That's per cycle.
Wow.
Yeah. And with IVF, a woman takes injectable hormones for 8 to 9 days, and that's going to make her make many eggs. And instead of letting her ovulate, we're actually going to go in through a minor surgical procedure, take the eggs out. We fertilize the eggs in the lab, and then we can choose the healthiest embryos to put back in the woman's body.
Beautiful. Got it. Beautiful. So what if insemination and IVF don't work?
Well, if those treatments don't work and we think that the issue is related to egg quality, we can actually use something called egg donation. Okay. And so this is where a young woman in her 20s is going to go through the process, and she's going to donate her eggs to the infertile couple. We take those eggs, we fertilize them with the male partner's sperm. We get an embryo, and we transfer that embryo into the woman so that she can carry the pregnancy and give birth to a baby. Wow. And the success rates are really high, and that's because success rates are related to the quality of the egg, which is the age of the egg, not the age of the uterus.
Now, are there side effects to IVF and all of this?
There are. The more eggs you make, the more side effects there are. And so you can feel bloated and full during the cycle itself, but it is limited to a short time period.
Okay, for a young woman that knows that she wants kids, but she doesn't want to think about starting to have them until maybe she's in her 40s, what should she do?
Well, egg freezing is a great option for those women who are interested in preserving their fertility. So the egg freezing process is very similar to IVF. They take the medications to stimulate lots of eggs to grow. We do the procedure to take the eggs out, but then instead of fertilizing those eggs, we just freeze them. The younger the woman is, the more likely it is that we're going to get more eggs in one cycle. The quality of the eggs is also better. And then what happens is that when she's older, if she can't get pregnant on her own, now you can go back, we can thaw the eggs out, fertilize them with a partner that you have at that time, put them back, and the chance that that woman is going to get pregnant is that of her younger self.
What is the cost of that?
So smart.
So it's a very, it's really, egg freezing is such a wonderful option. The cost of it is that you have to pay upfront for the procedure itself, and you do have to be aware of the fact that there are annual storage fees to hold onto your eggs until you're ready to use them.
And what's that cost,
Ballpark.
roughly?
A year.
Around, I mean, maybe around $400, $500. Like different clinics will structure it differently. Sometimes it's less cost for the procedure, but higher storage fees. So you have to be really aware.
How much does the procedure normally cost?
It'll be a little bit less than the IVF cycle. So sometimes
Still
it can
expensive.
be around $8,000 plus medications.
Wow.
So still expensive.
Dr. Benjamin, thank you so much for answering our questions and dropping all this amazing knowledge on us.